Good afternoon, YouTubers. It's Saturday afternoon. The weather has been extremely hot. It was up to 30 degrees, but yesterday there was a storm and it's dropped by about 10 degrees. So now we have a lot of good rain for the garden, which it really needed. It's been incredibly dry over the last 2 to 3 weeks. We've just ordered in some of our wood for the winter. This is about 10 cubic meters. Cost about £350. Very good wood though, hardwood, mostly beech, oak. We buy from the local sawmill. He's got a wood splitter. It's the first time we bought from him actually. I bought some planks from him, and now we're buying our wood. So we have to put it under here, but this is in the wrong place because really for wood deliveries we're getting it delivered onto our cobblestones. And I had this put up last summer. Unfortunately I was very busy and it's in the wrong position, so we actually have to move it. This is our main wood storage. We're gonna have to move it behind this so that we can create some space in this area for the wood deliveries. So hopefully I'll have a friend coming out maybe this weekend, next weekend. We've got a new system. We're using these old apple crates for our pumpkins, and they've worked out really well. I'm not sure, my wife got this idea from somebody. I think it was another guy in the village. We haven't really got the vegetable garden sorted out for for weeds, etc. Because we're putting in the raised beds. So this is like a temporary solution. We've been giving these nettle fertilizer and it's made a big difference. As it's raining, we bought this little greenhouse. It's like made of plastic. It's doing the job for the tomatoes. When it rains, you definitely want to keep the water off tomatoes. But it's working out well so far. Tomatoes they don't like water straight from a tap. So I bought this 200-litre bucket, well, barrel, let's say. They prefer like water that's, I think it's a bit warmer. So this is a recent acquisition, just another pumpkin. And we had this old basket in my daughter's room, so we filled that with cucumbers. And then we got a few more like down here. So I'm trying to use up all the space in the garden. That's some gooseberries, blackberry, and a quince in the background. So the garden's looking a lot greener. Fruit trees are looking good. They've all got very good fruit this year because there's no frost. We've let the chicks out now. We've got 7. Last year we lost them all. So we were keeping these in the new cage we bought. We would keep them in here. Now they're bigger and they were desperate to get out, so now these are running free. Siberian blueberries, which produce a good crop this year. This is a mini kiwi that's doing really well. We'll have this completely spread over the dog kennel eventually. And just down in this corner here we have a second kiwi growing. So this will grow up and eventually they'll cover this whole roof of the kennel. We'll just take a quick look at the back. Chickens are desperate to get out, but maybe I'll let them out now. They do a fair amount of damage to the garden, so now we just let them out late afternoon for a couple of hours, and then they return to the chicken hut. This is the mother who sat on the eggs for those chicks, little bantam. We lost our second bantam to a fox a few days ago, and we also had an old black hen that we lost as well. Just in the chicken hut we had she's back on these eggs. Under this hen are some guinea fowl eggs that the other bantam was sitting on, but she left the eggs, so they were in here getting cold. I was going to bury them, but now this grey hen has got broody, so we're going to have to remove the guinea fowl eggs that we bought, and we're going to have to put in some new ones under her. The problem is that she's on and off the whole time, so I'm not sure if that's going to work. But she was broody last year, so we might get some guinea fowl chicks hopefully. The neighbour cut their meadow already, and I think they should get a second crop of hay off that. Normally they get one crop. This year I think it'll be two. So I made this back area, I made it yesterday. The grass is getting pretty long. Raised beds are fantastic. Rucola we're getting, this will allow to grow to seed. This copper, this dill, is like unbelievable. I mean, it's the best dill we've ever had. And that's purely down to the raised beds. Beetroot, we planted some more because it was a bit patchy, so I think we should get some more. I planted Swiss chard for the first time. That's this one in the middle. Really good vegetable. You cook it like spinach, cook it with garlic, absolutely delicious. Very nice veg because it's like different colours as well. So that is a really good new addition. Planted some red and green lettuce, which is all from seed, which has all come up. These pumpkins are exploding, like becoming a real jungle. And our beans, we've got broad beans and French dwarf beans. I think I'm going to have to give these some nettle tea because there's a lot in here. And then that's the carrot, still pretty small. I think we're going to have to thin that, possibly. Drew some artichoke in the background. Our old apple tree that was here when we moved in. That was like 14 years ago. So that is a very old apple now. We pruned it, got it back into shape, and it crops every 2 years. Woknina's working out well. And that's Woknina in Polish. It's non-woven fabric, I think, is the English term. But this is really good. It's doing the job of keeping the weeds down. And I've bought some new planks, and I'll put in 3 more raised beds here this summer, and I'll put in 3 more next year. Blueberries really needed this water. These cropped incredibly well last year, and we'll get something off them this year. Looking very good. All the apple trees are pretty much like this. Even the red currants are actually growing this year. Had a big problem with them. And this one here is a conference pear. It's quite an old tree, but it's still very small. I'm not sure why. It's just not getting bigger, but again, that's going to crop well. Aronia, quince, another quince. We put in a couple of new fruit trees. This one, these are two apple trees. I've strimmed this whole area. And at the back, beyond those trees, I haven't trimmed. It's going to be a lot of work. The grass is always very long there, so I have to use a like a metal triangle on my strimmer. This one I just use the normal plastic wire. These are our young fruit trees, which have all survived. They survived their first winter. All different varieties, so we're happy with the way these are progressing. This little one here was pretty sickly, but I gave it some compost. I've been watering it regularly, and now it's coming back. We've got a lot of, this summer, we've got a lot of Pajomki. Pajomki are alpine strawberries. They like to grow along the edge where that sort of longish grass is. It's been a really good summer for the alpine strawberries. I don't trim really low when I see them because I don't want to damage the plants. Yeah, so this, my next project will be trimming all this this long grass here. This is our new fruit bush. Not quite sure what it's called, but it was very weak. All the leaves died off in the sun, but in this cooler weather it's come completely right back. And this one is like a similar variety. Here we've got our wood ants, which we like to have because they don't do any damage. It's always nice to see them at work. And now we started off with this one. Now we've got three more nests on the property. So I think they spread from the original colony. And I always like to have a look at this one. Okay, that's the neighbours. They always plant the potatoes, cabbage, wheat. I think sometimes they plant oat, and they change locations every year. There's some new, I think they've got some new strawberry rows. They're good farmers. They put a lot of manure on their land, and they always get a good crop. Okay, so from a grey and rainy Poland, which was extremely hot, too hot to really do anything in the garden. Now it's a lot better. Hope you enjoyed it.